these icons, these legends got into a fight in front of the world. What happened? No, it wasn't a fight. It was just one person slapping the taste out of the other one's mouth.
There's a saying, when the devil ignores you, then you know you're doing something wrong. Conversely, when the devil comes at you, maybe it's because you're trying to do something right.
Comedians everywhere have been taking shots at him, but now one of the biggest actors in the game is giving him some grief. Will Smith has been facing a ton of backlash since that infamous Oscar slap and getting into spats with all sorts of famous people. But this time, Smith is confronting none other than the iconic Denzel Washington. But why? Well, it seems as though Denzel made the mistake of kind of calling Will the devil, and now it looks like we are in for a clash of the Hollywood Titans. But before we get into it, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to never miss out on any new videos. It's free and helps us tremendously bring out new content for your enjoyment. Denzel apparently had a lot to say about that infamous slap. Just recently, he was attending a 8989 Leadership Summit hosted by the amazing author and bishop T.D. Jakes. During their chat about Denzel's career and faith, Jakes just had to ask him that question. What went down between Smith and Rock on that fateful Oscars night? Well, Denzel responded with a classic saying. He said,
There's a saying, when the devil ignores you, then you know you're doing something wrong. Conversely, when the devil comes at you, maybe it's because you're trying to do something right.
Can you believe that? Yeah, he brought the devil into the mix with this. According to Denzel's theory, the whole Oscars drama was like a dance with the devil. It's like the devil thought, oh no, leave him alone, Will Smith is my favorite. But on the flip side, when the devil decides to make an appearance, it might just mean that something good is happening. It's like the devil wanted a piece of the action that night. Quite an interesting take on the evening, and a lot of others have resonated with those words, with famous comedian Dave Chappelle saying it was kind of like Will finally let the mask of perfection break. So in Denzel's eyes, it's almost like the devil made him do it. But it's what Denzel did after the incident that has a lot of people curious. So after Will Smith gave Chris Rock a good old slap for joking about Jada Pinkett Smith, things got real intense backstage. Denzel Washington was actually spotted having a serious heart-to-heart with Smith, along with Tyler Perry and Smith's publicist. They huddled together during those commercial breaks, probably discussing the aftermath of that epic slap that was heard around the world. But what exactly was said backstage? Well, according to Washington, it was a moment filled with prayers and support. He didn't spill all the details, but he mentioned that
Tyler Perry came immediately right over there with me, and you know, who are we to condemn?
Now, fans even shared an image from when Denzel was talking to Will. One person wrote, "This picture is cold." It was taken immediately after the slap, Chris Rock waiting for an apology, Jada telling Will Smith to go back and slap him again, Denzel Washington trying to calm the situation. Another added, "Listen, if Denzel Washington and Samuel L. Jackson comforted Will Smith after that slap, it was warranted." Denzel said it was some serious stuff that they discussed, but he still wants to keep it all hush-hush. You know, they say, what happens in the conversation stays in the conversation. But Denzel did mention that we should all be grateful and remember that any one of us could find ourselves in a similar situation. It's a reminder not to be too quick to judge. One fan even praised Washington for doing what he did. They wrote, "The image of Tyler Perry and Denzel Washington approaching Will Smith has stayed in my mind. After Will threw the slap, the damn world armed themselves with pitchforks. Denzel and Tyler armed themselves with poise and compassion. Compassion is rarely deserved, but often needed." But not everyone was pleased. One person wrote, "It's disgusting how Denzel and Tyler were comforting the attacker instead of the attacked person." This one person countered and said, "They are his good friends. Of course they would check on him. I expect nothing less." Another added, "Bravo, Denzel and Tyler. You did the right thing. When you stumble, friends are there to support and lift you up. Mistakes are made in life. In the dark places is where you grow." There was one Twitter user who just didn't agree that Denzel did the right thing. They said, "It's like a drunk driver hit someone and everyone is checking on the driver." Now, of course, we're still not entirely sure everything Denzel said to Smith during that moment, but it seemed to resonate with Will, because during his acceptance speech for Best Actor, Smith gave a shout out to Washington and spilled the beans on a little of their conversation. He shared that Washington gave him some wise advice, saying,
Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you.
And when those words are coming from Washington, we all know one thing. He speaks, we listen. He has the experience and wisdom of being in the public eye for years. And even though the devil decided to crash the party, as he said, others weren't as forgiving to Will. The Academy Awards is a premier event for the Hollywood elite. It's supposed to be a night of glitz and glamour to celebrate the biggest achievements in cinema. And to have another elite member put hands on someone else at the event, it's a scandal that no one could see coming. Now, it started when the comedian and actor Chris Rock made that joke about Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Rock referenced her bald head, the result of alopecia, and made a little quip about his anticipation for a G.I. Jane sequel with Pinkett Smith as the lead. Little did Rock know that this joke would cause the night to go down in Hollywood history. Calm, charismatic Will Smith. He's a beloved actor and a master of cinema. He took that joke personally. In a very surprising turn of events, he responded by delivering a slap heard around the world, right on Rock's cheek. Now, the incident left the audience in a state of shock and disbelief. Lupita Nyong'o, Nicole Kidman, and Serena Williams, among others, were caught on camera with expressions of absolute astonishment. Now, first up, Canadian comedian and actor Jim Carrey. He didn't hold back his feelings on this. Jim said,
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
He even joked that
I'd announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous.
But hey, Jim wasn't the only one who found it sickening. Our lovely Academy Awards host, Wanda Sykes, had some strong thoughts as well. She admitted that she wanted to respond to the whole situation right there on the stage. Honestly, though, I think it kind of left everyone in that pause mode state of shock, though I am curious as to what she would have said if she had sauntered back out on that stage. After all of this chaos, you would think that Will would be appreciative of someone coming forward to defend him. But it seems like Smith isn't too thrilled with Denzel. In fact, he decided to have a chat with him. Why? Well, apparently Will didn't appreciate his name being mentioned alongside the devil. Yeah, he's really taking everything pretty personally lately. Now, Will's fans, they seem to think that they understand why he might be a little upset. He had built that carefully crafted wall in his Hollywood world. So to have someone associate your name with the devil, bit of a PR nightmare and breaking down that wall, especially for someone who was so beloved. But at the same time, Denzel obviously meant his words with love, not malice. Maybe he was just trying to make a point to offer some perspective. But alas, the world of Hollywood, it's full of misinterpretations. So what do you think? Comment down below and let us know. And if you like this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be the first to see my next video. I post updates like this every week, where I uncover the secrets of your favorite celebrities.